What's going on, y'all? So, Empirical Labs has been teasing their new compressor plugin, which we now know is called the Arousor. And the way that they've teased this plugin is by giving us puzzle pieces and covering up the plugin. And as time goes on, they've revealed more parts of the plugin or more of the picture, and which we now have a complete screenshot of the plugin. So, I want to talk a little bit about what I noticed from looking at the complete screenshot now, kind of what we know and what we don't know about this plugin. I want to say that I really like the way Empirical Labs has gone about marketing the plugin so far because it's created a lot of buzz for it. A lot of companies, when they release plugins now, we just really wake up and we see a press release of an email of a new product, or we'll see it at a trade show like NAM or AES. Uh, Over the last few months, Empirical Labs has built up a really nice buzz for this product, and I feel that it's the most anticipated plugin this year, and it even has me excited. And I haven't really been excited over a plugin in a while. So a lot of people will look at this and say that it's going to be a distressor in a plugin format, but really looking at the complete screenshot, we've got some features on here that is not on the distressor, and I actually see features on here that's pretty much taken from all of Empirical Labs products. And so, looking at the full picture here at the screenshot, one of the first things that I notice is looking at the knobs. Of course, we got our classic Empirical Lab knobs, where on the distressor and the Mic E and all the Empirical Labs products, the knob goes from 0 to really goes past 10. But with the attack and release, you can see now that we were able to see millisecond values, which is something that you can't see with the hardware, which is really interesting to me because when using a distressor, I open the attack up or make it slow fast, and you're just really going by the number value and watching your gain reduction. Now we're able to see what millisecond is. Now, will this translate to a distressor? Not sure, can't say, but it is cool after all these years for those of us who've used distressors and Empirical Labs compression to now be able to see a value, a millisecond value for the attack and release. Also, the same thing for the input and output. We're able to see number values in dB now rather than turning to a number. Below that, actually, let's go above that. In the upper right corner, we've got a bad clip light, and this is something I've realized that has came from, for example, the Mic E. The Below that, we're looking at the ratios. I notice that we now have a 1.5 to 1 ratio, which is really nice. It's a really good ratio for bus compression. On the rest of the stressor, Mikey, you've got 1 to 1, and then we go to 2 to 1. So it's really cool to have a 1.5 to 1 ratio. What's really interesting to me is at the end of the ratio now, where we're used to seeing the classic nuke from Empirical Labs, we now have rivet. Looking up the definition of rivet, I'm not sure how this translates to compression, but it is something to take note of. Obviously, the rivet is above 20 to 1, so I'm assuming that it's something similar to nuke. However, if it's the same as nuke, I don't know why they didn't just name it nuke. So, really curious to find out more about the rivet ratio here. So below that, we've got attack modification, which is going to obviously modify um, the attack and transient of whatever you're compressing. This is going to be an interesting feature because, of course, with just the attack, you can control the transients, but now being able to modify the attack separate from the actual attack of the compressor uh, could lead to some really interesting results there. Oh, next to the attack modification, we have soft clipping, which reminds me a lot of my Empirical Labs mic E that I have with the saturation setting there. And you've got less and more. We can crank the saturation here. What's really cool is that you see that we've got it's like a meter of how much saturation that you're getting. You've got warm, hot, toasty, and pinned. Um, Pinned, those familiar with the fat so would recognize that. Toasty and warm, like warm, I have that on my mic E. And below that, we've got some EQ settings for the compressor. High pass filter going up to 1K. So here's a huge difference in the detector circuit, different from the distressor. I can't remember off the top of my head where the high pass filter is for the distressor, but I'm pretty sure it is not at 1K. So you can do a lot higher cutoff point for rolling off the low frequencies out of the detector circuit of the compressor. The middle section here is really interesting. We got a detector sidechain EQ. So what I'm curious of is, as I don't see now, is if there's a way to listen to the side chain and hear what the side chain is hearing before making adjustments here. But this detector side chain EQ section will allow you to, for example, you can boost a high frequency and then use the compressor as a de-esser because it's going to react to that high frequency that you're boosting. Not necessarily adding high frequency to the signal, you're just adding high frequency to the detector circuit. Not a lot of compressors have this feature. Most compressors just have um, really a high pass detector filter. And you'd have to set up a side chain to actually do this. So having it in the compressor is really nice. And then at the end, we've got our dry and wet blend knob, which is something I have on my mic E, but it's not something that is on the distressor. It's not on the fat. So really looking at this compressor, you can see where Empirical Labs have taken features from the mic E, from the distressor, from the fat, and have rolled them all into one product. That's just an overview of what I've noticed from just looking at the screenshot. Let's take a look at the price now. So it was announced that the price is going to be $349, and if I remember correctly, it's going to include free updates till 2020. A lot of people upset about the $349 price. I don't have a problem with it. And I feel like a lot of people have a problem with the price because a lot of plugins are less than $349 now, and plugins are always on sale. Anyone not happy with the price, I mean, just you can wait for a sale. All plugins go on sale eventually. So, and we're really, you see, we've just started May. I'm sure they'll have a Black Friday sale. Demo is coming up really soon. They've announced. Well, hopefully we will be able to download the demo and really put it through its paces at that point. But I'm really excited for this plugin, and like I said, I haven't been excited for a plugin since I can't even think of the last one. Really interested to get my hands on this because I have a mic E and I've been kind of shopping for a distressor. Really would be good to see where this would fit in the workflow for me. I use my mic E on lead vocals, on drum bus. I've been thinking of getting a distressor to uh, use while I'm mixing if I'm already using the mic E on drums or vocals, and really that way I don't have to print my track with the mic E and use it on another track. I can just go to the distressor and use it there. But man, this is really nice to have the Empirical Lab sound in a plugin format. I mean, the stressor has been out for many, many years now, over a decade. I believe a decade and a half now, maybe even longer. So to actually have it in a plugin format is going to be really cool for the pro audio world. Um, so again, be on the lookout for the demo coming soon. I will be demoing it once it's available and sharing my thoughts. Again, this is just a quick video, just kind of going over what we're able to see from the screenshot and just some things that I noticed. All right, I'll catch y'all next time.